With Giniel, not Giniel, but it's Giniel, the French.
Indeed.
Giniel. Spent some time with him, a fantastic driver, very versatile driver. Up until recently, he was best known for his exploits in the Dakar Rally at the wheel of a Nissan hardbody.
The breathtaking scenery of Stellenbosch is a far cry from the dry and arid conditions that Giniel is used to on the Dakar. Not surprising then that he's chosen to make this university town in the Cape his home.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little Boerland town, and obviously very famous for all the wines. And I've been living here for the last 15 years now, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Giniel's had a long career in motorsport that dates back as far as 3 decades.
Indeed, his first involvement was a club race back in 1989.
I won six championships with Nissan. So we had a very good relationship, and we had a very good past with the amount of championships we won. And then it sort of changed and went into a different direction from 2000 onwards into off-road racing or into rally raid. And that was a new challenge for me, and it's something which I enjoy now, and it's also given me the opportunity to compete internationally, and for me that was quite important.
Unfortunately, when Nissan pulled out of the Dakar, Giniel was left without a drive.
Which was not good for the sport and not good for anyone. It was a pity, but it's something that happened.
But where one door closes, another opens, and VW saw his potential as an international driver.
For a South African racing driver, it is very, very difficult to get a factory drive in an international team. I've had a lot of luck as well. I also believe you have to be in the right place at the right time. Luckily, I was there. Volkswagen is also a very good team, a very strong team. I've done a lot of mileage in the car, and I've done a lot of kilometers, and I've got to know all the people there, and that's important. And the people there made me feel welcome.
That welcome has been made warmer by his podium finishes in the Morocco and Orient rallies.
An endurance event like the Dakar requires both physical and mental stamina, and even when he's not behind the wheel, Giniel spends his time refining those skills.
Well, I like to do outdoor things a lot. I like outdoor life. I like to jump on my mountain bike, go into the forest, and go and ride for 2-3 hours in Stellenbosch. We live in such a beautiful town, and with all these mountains, that it's you basically have to do it. And I enjoy it, really enjoy it so much to go and do that. And I also have a lot of friends that do it with me, and that makes it a lot of fun. The other thing I like doing, you know, I live in Cape Town where the wind blows, so you have to do something when the wind blows. And for that I do kite surfing, which is also a great sort of adrenaline sport, and it's 15 minutes to the beach.
Well, it is quite physical. It's good for your upper body, and it keeps you nice and strong. So I suppose it's good cross-training for motorcar racing.
He also enjoys a game of golf.
I think it's quite a good game for your mind. You know, it teaches you discipline, and it also teaches you to stay calm, which is not always possible on the golf course. But no, it's a game I really enjoy.
Although Giniel has chosen to make a career out of motorsport, there's brains behind the brawn. He has a Bachelor of Economics from Stellenbosch University, which comes in handy for his business interests.
At this stage, there's not a lot of time to really do anything else, and it's very difficult. But I do some business with my dad. Obviously, when I'm away, I mean, he can look after things and make sure everything goes okay. But we do some property development and things like that.
So, where did it all start?
Well, I think it was basically because of my dad. He was always very interested in motorsport, motor racing, and when I was a small, young little boy, we used to live on a farm. He built me a go-kart, and he used to take me with to rallies. I basically started then and never looked back.
Give me a personal experience of the Dakar.
It's the biggest endurance race in the world, and it's a race that I always try to sort of approach in a humble way, because there's so many things that can happen on the Dakar. You know, it's such a long race, and to try and do well in that race, you need many things. First of all, you need a good team, you need a good car, you need to have done your homework, you need to have prepared well, and then you need a lot of things to go your way. So you need a lot of luck as well. I personally think. But for me, the approach is just is nothing special. It's pretty straightforward. I try to make sure that I'm fit, try to prepare myself in the best possible way, and then I take it day by day. I don't try to plan ahead, and I take each day at a time and each stage as it comes, and I try to finish each stage.
Can you give us some detail on your new navigator?
Well, I'll be doing the Dakar with Tina Turner. She's from Sweden. We've done quite a few races together. I think we've done 3 or 4 races together, World Cup races together. I get along very well with her. She's got a lot of Dakar experience. She's been there for 5 or 6 years before that, and she comes from a WRC background, which I sort of like, and I like the way in which, in how she reads the notes. It's very precise, and it's more sort of rally-like. You know, in the desert sometimes it can be very vague, the road book and things like that, but she gives it to me much more precise and more rally style. And I like to have as much information as possible when I'm driving. So that's why we get along well. I understand the way now she reads the notes to me, and I like the way she does it. And we're also good friends, and that's very important.
The team is good, driver is good, co-driver is good so far. So for sure we are working in the right direction.
For the 2006 Dakar, Volkswagen Motorsport has produced a new vehicle called the Race Touareg 2. Although it's still based on the previous Race Touareg, around 85% of its parts are new.
It's probably like, I mean, I don't know, if you get a new girlfriend, you got to get used to what she likes and what she doesn't like, and it takes you a few months to get used to that. And it's probably the same sort of thing. You got to get used to the car, the characteristics of the car, how it drives, what it does in certain circumstances, the drivability of the engine. And the more you drive in it and the longer you are there, the more you get used to it.
Can you give me some of the specs on the car?
It's got quite a lot of torque. I'm not sure of the figures. They don't tell us the figures because they don't even want us to know that. But it's strong. I guess it will typically do 0 to 100 on gravel in about 5 seconds. So it's quite a quick car. And the most impressive thing of it is the suspension. And the big holes you can go through without even noticing it. It's very important to be able to communicate with the team and with the engineers and to tell them what is wrong. They have telemetry on the car, and that's a system basically with a computer measuring everything that happens when you drive. And they can see in certain instances what is wrong. But it's important that you communicate with the engineers in a way that help them to define a problem or a problem area and to try and improve that.
What makes a good off-roader?
You've got to have that sort of ability to never give up, and you always keep on going and keep on trying. And I think it's even more so in off-road racing because the terrain's so rough and anything can happen. I mean, somebody can go off the road or hit a rock and destroy a suspension or something. So it's never over until the finish.
Lucas Radeby and Retief Goosen are just 2 of the names that commentators battle to pronounce. As Giniel de Villiers moves up the ranks of local sportsmen who are making it internationally, it's a name they're going to have to get used to saying a lot more.
Yes, and thanks to the lovely Lindsay Vine for popping in to see